The Malaysia-China Chamber of Commerce says that issues surrounding the ECRL project should be kept low profile, as it is a sensitive matter for both the Malaysian and Chinese government. MCCC called for non-governmental people and organizations to allow sufficient space and time for both governments to carry out negotiations, which it hopes could end up minimizing losses and achieving a win-win solution. MCCC says it is optimistic about the economic and trade cooperation between Malaysia and China and will do its best to assist both in their all-round cooperation and common prosperity process by making full use of private enterprises and cooperating with the pro-business policy of the new government. The Trade Chamber says in the long run, if ECRL and other relevant capital-intensive projects can be handled amicably even under such challenging circumstances, it will demonstrate the political wisdom of the leaders of both the Malaysian and Chinese governments. Malaysia Marine and Heavy Engineering Holdings slipped into the red, reporting a net loss of 25.22 million ringgit in the fourth quarter of FY18 versus a net profit of 48.13 million ringgit last year. This was no thanks to an operating loss from its marine division. This marks the fourth consecutive loss-making quarter for the group. However, revenue grew 10.2% to 273.24 million ringgit from 247.95 million ringgit previously. For its full-year FY18 report card, MHB reported a net loss of 112.69 million ringgit versus a net profit of 34.23 million ringgit for FY17. Revenue was up 1.9% to 974.35 million ringgit from 956.41 million ringgit. Looking forward, MHB says the group remains prudent on the outlook for the industry in the near term, given the uncertainties surrounding the timing of capital spending by major oil and gas players. Meanwhile, the outlook for marine business remains positive, as global LNG trade is expected to expand firmly, driven by increase of exports from the US and Australia to Asia. Former Felda Board of Directors member and ex-Kota Tinggi MP, Dato' Noor Ehsanuddin Mohamad Harun Narashid, was charged in the Sessions Court today on 14 counts of accepting bribes as payment for his car installment amounting to more than 23,000 ringgit in 2014 and 2015 from a printing company. Noor Ehsanuddin pleaded not guilty to all the charges. He was accused of receiving installment payments through checks from Karya Hidayah, in which the accused knew was related to his official duty. It was learned the vehicle is a BMW 3 Series. If found guilty under Section 165 of Penal Code, Noor Ehsanuddin can be jailed up to 2 years or with fine or both upon conviction. He was released on bail at 30,000 ringgit for all charges and is to report himself at MCCC office on the first week of the month. The case has been set for mention on March 14th. Deputy Meeting Minister Dr. Ong Kian Ming says Malaysia is capable of achieving GDP growth of between 4.8 and 4.9% in 2018 on the back of recent stronger economic figures. He explains that the manufacturing sector would continue to drive the country's exports and economy despite the current challenges in the US-China trade dispute. Ong says the country would be able to weather challenges and grow further this year with good policies in place, adding that some banks such as Standard Chartered were more optimistic about 2019's GDP growth figure. Bank Negara is due to announce the fourth quarter 2018 GDP data tomorrow. However, MIER recently announced that there had been a dip in the Business Sentiment Index in December 2018. Ong says that the Business Confidence Index is based on surveys and may not be totally reflective of the numbers. CB Industrial Product Holding has bagged 4 contracts worth a combined 131.7 million ringgit to build 2 palm oil mills, a palm kernel crushing plant, and a biogas power generator plant. In the board's filing, CBIP says these contracts were awarded by Indonesian plantation companies PT Sanjung Makmur and PT Kodeko Argojaya Mandiri. Sanjung Makmur's contract is worth 44.75 million ringgit and it involves building a palm oil mill with a processing capacity of 45 tons of fresh fruit bunches within 18 months. Meanwhile, the remaining 3 contracts by KAM are worth a total of 86.96 million ringgit and involve building a palm oil mill, a kernel crushing plant and a biogas power generator plant. The duration of the 3 contracts is 16 months. CBIP expects all contracts to contribute positively in FY19.